I woke up to find out that an old friend of mine had died today. He was in hospice and had been sick for some time. He's a professor at SMU, and despite living far apart from each other for quite some time, the mark he left on my life was indelible. And one of the concepts that has most shaped my life over the last 2 years was given to me when we went to visit him after he was diagnosed with his cancer. So I want to share that concept with you right now because I think it's one of the most important things in being able to make change in your city. In order to do this, I want to give you a surreal scenario and then a fake scenario, and I want to ask how you would act at the end of the fake scenario. So first, the surreal scenario. Imagine you wake up all of a sudden and you're standing in a stadium with thousands of people cheering you on. As you look around, you see the 49ers are on the field as well as the Chiefs, and you look down, you're wearing the number 87, and you put together, I'm wearing Travis Kelce's uniform. Patrick Mahomes comes to you and everyone else in the huddle, yells out a play that makes no sense to you and says, on three. You grab him and say, wait a second, you don't understand. I'm not Travis Kelce. I don't know what to do. And he said, no problem. Just do what Travis Kelce would do. Now, in this scenario, despite having all the physical attributes of Travis Kelce, without having the past experiences and know-how of Travis Kelce, there's no amount of will or effort that can make you do what Travis Kelce would do in that moment. Now, hold that loosely as we move on to the fake scenario. This is completely made up. But imagine, if you will, a community that was underserved by an ambulance in their city. As a result, it was normal to have 15 to 20-minute wait times in which emergencies would lead to deaths as people waited for care. And in your community was a senior living facility that regularly had emergency calls that led to the deaths of seniors. So you and some neighbors banded together and trained yourself in CPR and first aid, and even got some official certifications to administer things like glucose and insulin. You pooled your money, bought a van, and hollowed it out, and started listening to 911 scanners to take people to the hospital to save their lives. And you did this on a regular basis. You even got recognized by the mayor and the city before the ambulance service, which has a contract with the city, started to threaten to sue the city for allowing this sort of ad hoc ambulance service to exist. The city cracks down and decides that anyone who participates in this will get a fine for their first 3 offenses and then jail time for their 4th. Well, again, the community pools the money to pay the fines, but at some point, you and all your friends become maxed out on your fines, and the next person to pick someone up in an emergency is going to get arrested and going to do jail time. My first question is this: should you be willing to do jail time on behalf of the people whose lives you're potentially going to save? My second question is this: if this was you in that situation, do you think you would be the one to say yes to doing jail time? Let's go back to that Travis Kelce scenario. In that moment, being told to do what Travis Kelce would do seems ridiculous because you didn't do all the things that Travis Kelce did that led up into that moment. Without the workouts, the regimen, the practice, the time spent, and the sort of chemistry you have with Mahomes, you can't just fake it by willing yourself to do Patrick Mahomes' actions or Travis Kelce's actions. In the same way, the professor and author James C. Scott argues that if you are not regularly disciplined and practice in breaking dumb rules that are of little consequence, you will not have the moral fortitude to break big rules of major consequence when they arise. As such, it is your duty to exercise breaking stupid rules to build up a tolerance to people's opinions so that when important rules need to be broken, you'll have the ability to do it. He called this anarchist calisthenics. And don't be scared off by that word anarchy. He didn't mean it in a Guy Fawkes blow up parliament kind of way. He meant it in cultures that leave malformed babies out on the wall to die. You go and save those babies. That kind of anarchy kind of way. More of a mutual aid than creating a state of chaos or the pejorative way we use anarchy. You see, almost 2 years ago, I was in a point in my life where I was doing my civil duty and showing up and talking and trying everything in my power to change and move the direction of our local city government. I was patronized and looked down upon by different city officials and was feeling my sort of faith in change wane when, on a trip to go see family, I went and saw what would be my last time with my friend Jonathan McGregor. I told him about my frustration and my desire to do something, and he asked me if I'd heard of this term, anarchy calisthenics. I hadn't heard the term, but within a month's time, I practiced breaking my first stupid law. The city of Chattanooga had removed 9 benches from downtown because they were frequented by homeless people. The problem is when you remove benches from people you deem undesirable, you also remove them from the people that need it the most. So to practice breaking stupid laws of little consequence, I got an artist and we painted a bench to be obnoxious, to say this bench is illegal but it shouldn't be, and to put it in place of a bench that the city removed. This bench garnered a lot of attention. The video we posted about it got over 3 million views. And within 72 hours, the city of Chattanooga replaced the permanent bench where the anarchist bench had been placed. This helped grow the Instagram account of the Chattanooga Urbanist Society to 100,000+ followers. It helped garner attention and launch the initiative of Benches for Bus Stops, which is now responsible for upwards of 60 bus stop benches built around town. You see, you've never met Jonathan McGregor before. I don't even know if he's ever been to Chattanooga. But if you see a bus stop around, but if you see one of those homemade benches around town, it's a direct result of his influence on my life and on our city.